2 patients, 3 patients, overlapping. So I would take a patient to do their thing that I was sure of, their next workout, I'll let me, take them through that. Taking time to allow the patient to speak and open up, to see, hey, this person looks like, they're sad or they want someone to talk to, just to listen to. A lot of times I wasn't doing the hands-on stuff. 90% of the time I wasn't doing hands-on stuff, more I was just there to assist in whatever way I possibly could. And like I was talking about in the last slide about communication, when not to speak. Because a lot of times someone will say something and I'll be, I read something about that, but that's not my place to say that yet. So I learned from that, and I did progress from the midterm evaluation on that, not to just jump out there and talk about stuff that may not know exactly what I'm talking about. Then taking initiative once I learned the ropes, when I knew that someone was going on to the next machine, the next workout, that's when go get it ready for them, and just pay more attention to taking initiative in the decision making. So my goals, my number one goal is that I would say the overreaching goal for my entire experience was to experience the daily function of the duties of a physical therapist, which easy enough, right, to show up. But the objectives that I had underneath there were to shadow and observe for the first week, which I did, and it was to assist the patient or the physical therapist with 10 patients from intake to discharge. And that one, 7 weeks isn't long enough to have that many patients be intook and discharged. I did see 12 initial evaluations, and I saw 7 patients be discharged. And 3 of those patients were actually from intake to discharge. So I didn't actually accomplish the full scope of that goal, but in its truest form, I feel like I accomplished the goal. And then performed the duties with 3 patients through the whole process while under supervision. Well, I did get to do hands-on on 3 different patients, but mine was more of observation. These 3 patients that I had a good working relationship with. Yeah, I partially accomplished this goal, and it turned out pretty well. And I've come away with better knowledge on that. My second goal was to develop doctor-to-patient communication skills, which my first objective was to research the patient code of ethics, the physical therapist code of ethics, and I talked about that earlier in my standards and association code of ethics, and the medical communication behavior system. There's 2 different types that I came across, and it's the biomedical communication model, and that's where you talk about, this person this has an ACL injury, this is how you treat it, this is where the stage they should be, not taking into consideration anything else. And the other type is the patient-centered, which that's what physical therapy is. It's this patient is this old, has this injury, is at this stage, just had this surgery this week, this is their background, they have 2 kids, the holistic approach to the patient-centered communication. So I observed and recorded methods with 5 different patients on these methods of communication. Almost every patient I had some sort of note of something that she said to them, or some progress that they made, and just the way that she talked to them. She was a great mentor to watch and see, because sometimes they would say stuff and I'm like, whoa, I don't know what I would say to that. And you don't have your kid anymore, geez, that kind of thing. So to see that, and I implemented it with all of our patients, not just 3. I would say I absolutely crushed this goal. Seeing that this many patients, and because there was about, I think I personally had 38 some patients, and the total of about 60 some that come through. So this is definitely a good goal to have. And then the third goal, so we make these goals before we actually get to the site. So I wasn't exactly sure what the modalities were, but I wanted to familiarize myself with them. And I learned the observation of the use of hot packs and cold packs, and how to use them for different body parts of the ankles. You wrap it differently than the shoulder than you do the knee and all that. So I took those steps to learn about that and understood. But the electrical nerve stimulation, I only got to see that once with 1 patient because their doctor prescribed it. They're more inspired physical therapy is more orthopedic, where they have them do the exercises and manual therapy and some stretches and things in order to get them better, rather than using the electrical nerve stimulation. But I did get to see it. So utilize the equipment on 3 different patients. Well, I would get heat knives for everybody. It didn't matter if it was Autumn's patients or Joe's or Tiffany's. I would get them for whenever I had a chance to see them and get them. So I did utilize them. So it was a partially accomplished goal, but like I said, in its entirety, I think I did accomplish it. Some highlights. The first day was amazing. You don't know what to expect often with the first day. What's it going to be like? Kind of nervous a little bit. And the first guy that comes in is a Green Bay Packers fan, and he's all funny, making jokes and stuff. I was like, this is awesome. He's just making jokes himself, and he loved it there. He was having a good time, and it made me feel right at home. And then Autumn, welcomed me as soon as I got in the door. I was like, this is gonna be great. Like I knew from that moment, like, you know, we asked if there's a moment that you know, like going into this is like, this is gonna be the thing that decides whether or not this is what I want to do when I grow up. And sure enough, like I knew that after that first day, I was calling my parents like, yes, this is great. So the first week was great. We had 4 different patients come. One guy cried about how amazing he loved Inspired Physical Therapy and how he wrote a poem for one of the physical therapists. And another person, the site manager, was pregnant, and they brought in some baby kind of gifts for them, and another patient brought in cookies and brownies. And at that moment, I was like, I promised myself I have to work at a place like this when I get a job, you know, because not every experience is going to be like this. Not every place is like this. But I refuse not to work at a positive environment like that, because the patients, almost without fail, get better. I met with 5 different physical therapists, 3 that worked there, 1 that came in temporarily, and 1 that we met for dinner one night. That's just great networking, you know, futuristic type stuff. Like, you know, always have these connections. You know, you make a good impression. So that's awesome. And honestly, every patient I met was a highlight. I mean, each person had a unique story. Each person was a great inspiration to be around, because they're all there to get better, and then you're helping them. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, to help these people. I remember the first patient I was able to take through their workout. That was one big highlight. I felt so proud. I was like, yeah, you know, she trusts me. She'd be like, you know all these. I was like, yeah. You know, make sure I knew what I was doing next. I would check with Autumn, and, you know, as a patient I developed a special relationship with, so that was a big highlight for me. And some advice for future interns: start early. I mean, I pretty much had this thing secured back in December, when we didn't even have to start, you know, until March, which is great because I had 8 classes, and that's insane. But if you're a junior, senior, freshman, look for your place now. No matter where you're at, start looking now. Start asking around. You know, talking to your fellow students, which I know a lot of us do, and you know, that's why we get these good places. You know, network with even people that are outside the degree, because they might know something that would be good for you. Make the most of this opportunity, because you're in a professional role. You know, this is your first impression. You know, you want a chance to make a first impression. And then for anybody who's physical therapy specific, to manage their intrapersonal expectations, because I came in and I was like, I want to be able to sponge and you know, soak this up and learn as much as I possibly can. But you know, I thought I would bring more to the table than I did. It kind of was disappointing. I was like, man, I thought I would know more, but I don't know if I can have a better way to prepare for it, because you always have to have your first experience. And you know, I was thinking back on it. I was like, well, I guess I prepared as best I can, because you can only research it so much and be an expert in the stuff that you do know. So the next step is to, you know, the next place that I do my internship, I'll be that much better prepared. And for the faculty, for any students who are going into physical therapy, they need to take their prerequisites. They need to get those things out of the way. I haven't gotten them out of the way, so that limited me from the 42 schools that I was looking at to 2. So they have to get those done early. That's just some advice for future students. And any questions?
Yes, Michael, at the beginning you said that they don't have to go to a doctor to come. How does insurance play into that?
See, for the vast majority of the time, the insurance will cover it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's only a few that need doctor's referral, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's the government ones that need the
federally funded programs.
Yeah.
Have to have a doctor's referral, otherwise
It's
they
pretty
do
much
not.
across the board. It's
Wow.
taken care of. And then the different states are different. Like, you know, I'm not sure exactly what Ohio or Tennessee is, but they may be direct access as well. I think when I was looking it up, it was the 40 some of the states, 42 of the states are direct access.
Would that affect, like, if you, I mean, I'm trying to think here, because I'm thinking malpractice, if you did the wrong thing and a doctor didn't send you there for the physical therapist, or not?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
We evaluate them the first time they come in, and if it's something outside of our scope of practice, then we would refer them somewhere else.
Okay.
So that's why it's direct access. They can come in, see us. If it's something we feel like we can treat, then we'll treat it. And if it becomes to a point where we think we can treat them, see them for a little while, and realize, oh, there's something more going on, we can still refer them out.
Okay.
So you have to be, you know, capable of doing that part.
What was your wow factor? The wow factor was that first day, that first patient, I could say. Like, wow, I'm going to fit right in, you know? Like, I may not know always what to do or what to say or whatever, but this is awesome. Yes, I finally found like, I was right, what I thought what physical therapy was, it is. Like, the whole, like I said, it was just such a positive experience, I couldn't have asked for a better experience, a better place to do my internship at, so, the whole thing, but specifically that first day.
So what's next for you? I mean, have you applied to PT schools yet, or?
Yeah, I am, see, that's the thing, I almost graduated in 3 years, I have 2 more PE classes I gotta take, but I have to take 6 other prerequisites, like chemistry, physics, biology, and, yeah, so take this next semester, I'm not actually graduated, I have 2 more classes to go, one in the fall, one in the spring for PE, and then all those prerequisites, so I'll end up having like 155 credit hours, so.
What made you pick that clinic out of all your clinics that are in Anchorage?
Oh, well, so yeah, I was the part of when I was looking for the site, you know, I was researching other places, but the guy that told me about it, like, he's not animated. He's not like a, you know, super excited guy all the time. But the way he talked about it really made me, you know, put a lasting impression on me. And like, so I remembered that, and I started asking some of the patients, like, so how did you hear about Inspire? Like, oh, my doctor said that if there's any place in the world that he would send his children to go, he would send them to Inspire Physical Therapy. Like, it just, and it was obvious that they, you know, what everybody was telling me, you know, was true. So, and you know, from the interviews that I had, the other communication I had with the other places, I was trying with the VA, and the VA would take like 6 months to get into. I was like, I probably wouldn't be as comfortable there. It was, you know, like I come from a military background, it's more like, you know, dress right dress, and you know, all the things in a line in order. It's more laid back and more relational oriented and Inspire. So I thought it was a perfect fit, really.
So I suppose physical or machines or stuff like that, is there like radio wave or magnets that helps massage the muscles and the joints? Is that something in the future or something in the past that isn't used anymore?
Well, they do ultrasound type.
Yeah, ultrasound.
But they didn't use it in Inspire Physical Therapy.
Okay.
More orthopedic, which just hands-on and exercise.
All right.
Matt.
Not so much a question, I just wrote down some notes as we were going through
Oh, cool,
this.
yeah.
Just wanted to say publicly that you're a student leader, have always been a trusted friend, respected colleague, and your study sessions helped so many of us survive so many classes. It's just, thanks for that. You were always passionate in the struggle for knowledge, not to go ahead and pass the test, but to understand the concepts that were behind that. And it's evident that you did that with physical therapy, you've done it with other courses, exercise physiology, biomechanics. Personal advice to us, I had some problems with my shoulder, Mike gave me some exercises. I was able to work through that as a friend and then be able to understand those concepts. So thanks for that. You've definitely laid the foundations for future success, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You can't end on a better note, just close it.
Yeah.